If you're a small artist trying to grow your music career, listen up. There are people out here trying to scam you. And I mean literally steal your money, your art, your time, your trust. These are the scams that I've personally seen targeting small indie artists, and I don't want you to fall for them. Some of these scams look legit. They seem like real opportunities, they can even feel flattering, but trust me when I tell you, these scams are traps. Scam number 1. I'm calling this one the radio play for free. This one is usually somebody who claims to be a DJ or a radio show host, and they reach out to you saying, I love your music. I really want to play your music. Your music deserves to be heard. I love your sound. They're very flattering when they first reach out. Usually, they will have a name that's similar to a popular DJ, and they'll say they work for a radio station called something something Hot 100. And when you look it up, oftentimes these are real radio stations. So if you're not careful with your research, you may think, hey, this person's claiming to like my music. Maybe they've paid for followers and it looks like they have a ton of followers or a ton of likes, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform they're reaching out to you on. Then they'll ask for a fee. It'll usually be small, $25, $50, and they'll say, I promise you, you'll get X amount of airtime, you'll get 50 streams in the next 3 months. It'll be something that sounds almost worth it. Let me be clear, no one legit is going to charge you to play your music on the radio. That is not how legitimate radio works. Airplay for a fee? No, it's not real. Run. Unfortunately, these people are banking on your desire to be exposed. They are banking on you wanting to be heard. That's what makes me angry. That's what makes me angry, because they target people who are real artists who are trying to get their big break, and they know that you're willing to pay for it. This has happened to me multiple times. I get reached out to on TikTok probably 3 to 4 times a week with people claiming that they are some kind of radio host. Sometimes it's a similar scam where they will say they're a writer for a music review magazine, and they'll say, just $25 and I'll write an article on you. And they'll go so far as to ask you for your email. They may say, hey, send me a couple of your links so that you're hooked. You think this person's real. You think that they like your music. Some of them will even listen to your music to tell you what they like about it. Because for them, what's a 2-minute song when they can get $20, $30, $100 out of you? It doesn't matter to them. Anytime they start with like, oh, I love your music. Oh, I love your sound. Oh my gosh, how long have you been playing music for? I'm not saying be rude to people if you get this DM, because maybe they are legit and they're a real fan. But if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Scam number 2 is the overpayment scam. And this can get a little hairy with like fraudulent checks and stuff, so definitely need to be careful with this. But the reason I call this an overpayment scam is because they will reach out to you wanting to book you or wanting to send you money for something, some kind of video that you do for them. And then they will ask you your fee, and they will add money to what they're going to pay you. For example, you've been asked to perform live or maybe send them a video or write a song for them. And they say, hey, love it. I'm going to go ahead and pay you up front. Red flag. Red flag. If they're offering to pay you up front, especially if it's a large amount of money, it is likely a scam. I hate it for you because, again, they're coming to you knowing that you want to be paid, knowing that you're a struggling artist, knowing that you want to get your music out there, and they're relying on that. Maybe they've looked up that you live in New York City and they claim to be a programmer and they say, hey, we want to book you for this event. I'm going to go ahead and pay you your fee. Let's say you've said $250. What they'll do is sometimes they really will write you what looks like a real check, or it could even be a legitimate check. There are times when people will do this. Maybe it's through Venmo. They'll say, hey, I'm going to Venmo you now. And instead of $250, they're going to send you $2,500. We've all seen scams like this before. 9 times out of 10, they're going to add a 0 to it. They're going to message you and say, oh my gosh, I accidentally sent you too much. Can you send me that money back or the difference back? The only thing that's going to happen to you is you're not going to get booked. They're going to disappear, and you're going to lose most, if not all, of that money that you send back to them. Whenever you're getting paid, especially if it looks a little sketchy, definitely either take it to the bank and make sure it's real, or just be careful. If it sounds too good to be true, it might be. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't accept gigs, of course, but try to talk to people on the phone, try to meet in person. I would even push to say, I want to come and play first and you can pay me later, because 9 times out of 10, if the person is legit, they will respect that. They will understand. They'll go ahead and make sure that you know how to get to the venue. They're not going to send you a bunch of money before you do anything. This happened to me. Somebody reached out and wanted me to write a song for them. I did. And I sent them the video, and they actually watched the video. And I know that they did because I asked them, what's your favorite part of the lyrics? Because I was starting to get this fishy feeling, I think this person's scamming me. So I wanted them to kind of suffer. Anyways, long story short, I reported what I think was a fraudulent check to the bank that it came from, and reported them any way that I could think of, but I was able to get a Venmo out of them and I reported the Venmo. Scam number 3 is fake custom art. A lot of times people will reach out to you and they'll say, hey, I really like your music. I'm an artist. Can I draw cover art for you? Sounds lovely. Sounds wonderful. Actually, yeah, of course, I would love you to, especially if they're a good artist. And it's sneaky because they may actually do some art for you, which is where it gets hairy, okay? This is where you need to start learning to recognize what AI looks like. I have had people send me DMs and say, I'm an artist, I love your blah, blah, blah song, can I make a cover for you? Then they will have ChatGPT or something generate an image and they'll send it to you. Now, this is not a clear-cut scam sometimes because maybe they'll say it's $20, $30. It's not a ton of money to be scammed out of, but they're not really making art. Like, they're using AI to make art. And I'm not hating on people who use AI to generate images or anything. I've definitely done it. If it looks like AI, it is AI. So if you like the art, maybe try to negotiate a lower price for the art, or I hate to say it, generate it yourself. Again, if somebody is really taking the time to design art for you, that's awesome. And I totally encourage that. Make sure it's legit. Make sure you like it. Make sure they're not just generating an image on AI and then charging you $100 for it. The last scam number 4, is playlist ads for money. This one, it could be similar to the DJ scam where they reach out and say, hey, I'm going to add you to my playlist. Sometimes they'll be extra nice and say, I really, really like your song. Can I put it on my playlist? It's only $5, or it's only $20 and you get 100 plays. Sometimes they'll send you real playlists and claim to be the curator. And it's going to feel great because maybe they've got 5,000 listeners or 100,000 saves and you really want to be a part of that. This is the kicker. If they guarantee a certain number of plays, it's a scam. There are legitimate curators that you can reach out to. I use SubmitHub. I really like it. Sometimes it can be expensive, but the more you grow your audience, the more it works. You can do your own ads here. You can submit to playlists you really like, and they don't guarantee you anything. That's the kicker. They listen to it. If they like it, they'll put it on a playlist. Make sure you do your research on what's real, what's a real curator. If you have questions, I'd be happy to send you some more information about SubmitHub, and there's a couple others. Nobody is going to play your song exactly 100 times for $100. So just don't fall for this. I've almost fallen for it a couple times when I thought it was real, but just don't fall for it. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money, don't waste your creative energy on this kind of scam. Being an indie artist or a small artist of any kind is already hard enough. These are my key takeaways. Always ask questions, always Google is free, always look up their names, always do what you can to make sure this person is legit. Anyone who is legit and wants to share your music is not going to hate you for asking them more questions because they might understand that as a small artist, you would have been exposed to these scams before. Unfortunately, if something feels off, it probably is. I have fallen for them, and so I'm trying to save you from falling for them. If this video helped you out, do me a favor, comment your experience. Is there any scams that you've experienced like these? Are there other ones that you've seen that you think deserve to be in a video? Because I could make another one about other scams that other small artists are experiencing. Definitely share this with somebody else who's a small artist so that they know what to look out for, and hopefully we can prevent these scammers from taking our hard-earned time and money and creative energy. I leave you with this message: protect your time, protect your art, keep going, keep working hard. I see you, I feel you, and don't get scammed. Thanks for dropping in. See you next time.